Alright, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles of GreatMillStone that rule impeccably well. And Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing his truth and sincerity across the four winds. But I just want to get into a fairly quick video, and it's going to be focused on this article I've come across. And it reads, boy, 8 years old, hospitalized after teen uses rope to hang him from a tree. Now that teen that attempted to hang him from a tree was an Edomite, man. You know, doing further research on this article, which I found on Daily News, nydailynews.com. When you go into the story, it says police start investigating after a young boy was allegedly hung from a tree with a rope in New Hampshire. The child's mother, Cassandra Merlin, shared photos of her 8-year-old son's injuries on Facebook. In the images, the little boy is seen with severe rope burn and cuts around his neck. And she goes on to say, so my son is being flown to Dartmouth after a 14-year-old kid decided to hang him from a tree. She wrote in the now deleted post, according to NH1, I don't care if it was a so-called accident or not, my son almost died. Now, you know, you can see the little Jake's neck here, man. Like, the spirit of the current climate of the world, man, is changing dramatically. Right, since you've had you know, these solar eclipses, you know, you got the hurricanes popping off, you got all manner of things that's currently happening in the world today, man. You know, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the true name of you know, the one the world calls Jesus Christ is Yahushai, and his father's name is Yahweh. They're turning things up, you know. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is turning up the heat. Bizarre things are happening, you know, unexplainable things are happening, and it's a real eerie spirit right now, man, because, you know, we're in a time when the Lord is making his return, and, you know, the Esau, his hatred for Jake is going to be shown on a grand scale now. It's going to be staged, man, right? Down from the little devil Jakes to little devil Edomites, sorry, and you grown Edomites, man. You know, Edom's going to start showing their horns even more as a nation of people, man. Because in the spirit, they know that they have a short time, as it tells you in the book of Revelations, man. Right? It's in the air. Esau knows that his time is short on this place, so you're going to see a lot more things happening of this kind of nature, man. Right? Now, I just want to get into a few scriptures. I'm going to start off with the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. And that's right, because as it tells you in the scriptures, you know, Satan is able to make himself, roughly paraphrasing, into an angel of light, man. And that's the same with the so-called white man, right? You know, they might seem like, you know, they're friendly on the outside, they might smile in your face, but look what happened to this kid, man. He nearly lost his life, man. You know, he nearly lost his life. He nearly got lynched, old-fashioned way, by the so-called white kids, man. You know, and that just shows you that hate, that enmity, going all the way back to Genesis the 25th chapter, is still embedded in Esau's spirit to this day, and in our spirit to this day, because that's an eternal hatred that Jacob and Esau have towards each other, man. They're opposites. They're plus and minuses, man. Right? So that hate is always going to be there. Right? We can never blend with the so-called white man and be one. That hate is installed from childbirth, man. Right? So-called black kids don't like so-called white kids, man. Right? By default, in the spirit. Right? And if it's any other way, it's just because the Jake or the Edomite has been brainwashed, man, to believe that everyone is equal. But really dormant in the spirit, that hate, that spiritual hate life in the background, man. You know? So that's why the scriptures say, never trust your enemy, man. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. So you gotta beware of the so-called white man. If this kid done the same, he wouldn't have ended up in this situation, man. That's why it's important to know who your enemy is. You Negroes, Hispanics and Native Americans, it's very important to know who your enemy is on this earth, man. You have many enemies, but your primary enemy is the so-called white man, right? And thou shalt be unto him as thou hadst wiped up the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not altogether been wiped away. So that, as I said, that wickedness, that hatred towards you 12 tribes, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is still in the spirit of Esau, man, right? Now this is Psalms chapter 37, and I'll start from verse 12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just. Who's the just? The just is you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And gainsayeth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, right? The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. Now who's the poor and needy again? You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You're in a state of being poor and being needy, man, under this devil, the so-called white man, right? That's clear. That's clear as day. And if you can't see that, you got the wool over your eyes, man, right? And as to slay such as to be of upright conversation, their swords shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken, man. So the Lord is going to put an end to the so-called white man. And I believe, and many of us here at Great Millstone believe that we're in that time, man, when the so-called white man, his system, his genetic makeup is going to be put to an end, man, real soon, man, right? So, never trust your enemy, man. At least you end up in the same situation as this Jake did in this clip, man.